What if the fastest way to help your child become calm is to begin with yourself? In this episode, Ann Swanson shares the power of co-regulation and reminds us that our state is contagious. The good news? Calm is contagious too. You'll discover simple ways to release tension from your own body, use your breath to create a greater sense of peace, and even learn a beautiful visualization that can help settle both you and your child. And also guides us through gentle meditations that are especially helpful for children who are waiting or winding down or falling asleep. Whether you're looking for practical ways to bring more calm into everyday moments, or bedtime has become a struggle, this conversation offers tools you can begin using today. Does your child have a speech-language delay and you really want them to talk? Do difficult behaviors derail home life and you know the frustration is a communication struggle? Does your child see a speech therapist and you wonder, what do they do and how can I help? If these or similar questions are in your mind, this podcast is for you. Hello, my name is Dinalynn Rosenbusch. I am a speech-language pathologist that has worked with children from birth to 21 for 3 decades. And in my classrooms, I see you wanting to connect with the heart of your child, but their speech and language skills create a barrier. So if you have a kiddo that has difficult behaviors, needs to expand their language or learn to say speech sounds, and maybe even receives speech therapy, stay tuned, because in this podcast, you will learn how to use your daily life as a tool to communication practice and how to do that practice. You will become confident knowing you are making the difference you want to make. And you will hear success stories of parents who have navigated these struggles already. We'll do this all while focusing on building deep, meaningful connection and confidence in your kiddo. So grab a cup of coffee along with a notebook and pen. It's time to speak in the way your child's brain understands. And that is the language of play. Welcome back to the language of play. Before we get started, I would like to give a special thanks to our sponsor. And I received my Clever Ellie several weeks ago so I could try it before I promote it. Now, I think I will buy it as a regular baby shower gift. In fact, I already have given it as a baby shower gift. It's practical, thoughtful, and supports families in a simple way. We all think, I would never forget a child in the car. Of course we think that. We love our children deeply. But the truth is that real life is distracting and parents are tired. Our brains are bombarded. And forgetfulness is a human experience, not a reflection of how much we love our children. Clever Ellie is a simple car charger that gently reminds you to check the back seat. If you'd like to check out Clever Ellie for your own family or as a baby shower gift, follow the link in the show notes to learn more about Clever Ellie and to claim your free charging cable bonus as a listener of the language of play. I have always worked one-on-one. But currently, I've been doing a small group coaching program for this summer, and it's been great. Some came because their kids were doing well, but they wanted to understand how improving communication at home would make their parenting easier and grow their children in the specific areas. And this family, it was listening. Another came with more serious issues. And the glorious thing is that they support one another and they learn from listening to each other. And it's turned out so well that I'm planning my next group coaching experience. So if being a part of something like that sounds interesting to you, then send me the word waitlist and I will let you know the details when they come out. My email, of course, is hello@thelanguageofplay.com, which, of course, you'll find in the show notes. And now let's get started with this pre-recorded episode with Ann Swanson. Ann Swanson is the author of Meditation for the Real World and Science of Yoga. which has sold over 500,000 copies worldwide. And recently, she has released a second edition. So, congratulations, Anne.
Thank you.
Anne wasn't naturally a chill person, and these practices didn't come easy to her. Overcoming her own chronic pain and anxiety led her to India to study yoga, to China to explore Tai Chi and earn a Master of Science in Yoga Therapy. So I am delighted today to have you here because today will be really practical. Moms and dads, we're going to talk really practically about what we can do, and I'm betting we're going to be walking through some meditations even today. So thank you for
Yes.
being here, Anne. I'm excited for this show.
I'm so excited to be here finally with you too. And since we first met, I had a baby myself, my very first baby.
That's right. We were going to record a long time ago, and then we put it off because you were going to have the baby. Now you have a 6-month-old baby who was just a moment ago crying, but now has gone to sleep.
Yes, they resist sleep very hard. And I'm like, I want sleep. I don't understand.
So, how do you get a child to sleep?
Yeah, so there's two things. One is your own state, and
Mhm.
that's especially important with a 6-month-old. And then there's their state, and that you can work with as they get older and they can understand language a little bit more.
Mm.
So let's first start talking about your state. That applies for everyone because there's a phenomenon called co-regulation. And that's when basically your state is contagious. The regulatory state that you're in, whether it be really anxious or really calm, is going to be contagious to your child. So calm is contagious too. So if you can take a few deep breaths, settle yourself, close your eyes for a moment, and then come with a sense of calm, that will help the situation for sure.
That's not easy to do, though.
No,
So, if
not
I
with the screaming in your face. Yeah.
Right, right. So I also have a brand new grandbaby, my third one, so that's exciting. And this baby is less than a month old. And when it cries, it's on its own schedule and it just cries. And of course, it's food at this point, but I know full well there are going to be times that I don't know how to settle it. And what do you recommend with that? Because sometimes it just seems like it takes a little bit of time. You keep hugging them, walking, and then eventually they settle in. But maybe you've got another strategy.
Yeah, interestingly, my husband, he's been taking to a lot of the yoga and Tai Chi things that I've taught, and he starts walking like with a rhythm as we do in Tai Chi, and does some of the breathing techniques. And so it's been really cool to see him putting it to practice. So I find that like noticing my posture as a mom, you start to hunch over and then that shrugs your shoulders up and your jaw starts to clench. That's the first step. And so noticing my posture, dropping the shoulders, and you can do that even as you're listening now, feeling as if a weight has been taken off your shoulders. And it can be hard too if you're holding a child to find a position where that's possible. So you might have to sit somewhere or walk in a different way.
Get
But
pillows.
yeah, get pillows. Make sure it's comfortable for your shoulders, jaw, neck, because those areas are going to hold the tension. And I've really felt that as a new mom myself.
Mhm.
And so when I get comfortable in my body, then I can get comfortable in my breath. And so that means breathing through the nose. Sometimes when we're stressed, we start to breathe through the mouth. I mean, if you have a cold, that's an exception, but all other times, breathing through the nose is what we want to do for optimal oxygenation. And what happens when we nose breathe is it releases a chemical in the nasal cavity called nitric oxide, which helps to dilate your blood vessels so that you become more relaxed and your blood pressure lowers. So just by simply breathing through the nose. And then
Amazing.
you want to bring your breath down. So allowing your abdomen to move. Actually, how a baby or small child moves when they breathe. You watch them, their whole body kind of moves, but then we're taught to like suck it in, so we stop doing that. So bring the breath down, allow your abdomen to move with your breath. Expand with the inhales and release with the exhales. So you can do that as you're listening now. This is sometimes called belly breathing, diaphragmatic breathing, because we're integrating our diaphragm into the movement. And so we're going back to that natural breath that we did when we were babies before we were told how to, suck it in and hold it back. And that stress breathing many of us do. So once I've kind of done that checklist of getting comfortable in my body, nose breathing, and bringing the breath down, usually I've started to regulate a little bit already. Um, and then sending a warmth or light to the child is what I'll often do. So exhaling out this warmth and light and visualizing that cocooning your child. So that can be helpful too.
So it's a visualization practice that we cocoon our child
Yeah.
in a blanket of light as we
Yeah,
imagine
with
it.
each exhale, with
Each
each and
exhale, we
every
imagine it.
exhale.
Okay, so tell
Yeah,
me,
that's been
what is that?
helpful.
What does that do?
So what that does is brings your attention to that loving kindness and connection to your child rather than to the, oh my gosh, why am I not getting this right? That's what goes in my head. How am I not intuitive enough to know what they need or whatever is going through your head? So it brings you out of that and into that loving connection. And remember that calm is contagious. Just like anxiety is contagious, calm is contagious. So we want them to catch it. And so we're cultivating it ourselves so that they can then catch it. And that intention is there. I find it's really a beautiful visualization.
Yeah, that is beautiful. As I imagine that, I think that you would naturally then, therefore, start to feel much more compassion for your child and be
Yes.
more patient with them and allow yourself to like wait for them to be ready. And I suppose in that space, ready doesn't feel so far away because you're just present in that moment
Yes.
then.
You got it. Exactly. These practices were built to cultivate compassion, and there's more and more research coming out on compassion-based meditation. That's what this would be in that sort of umbrella of that type of meditation. There's different styles of meditation. Maybe you've tried one where you noticed your body sensations or you repeated a word. Then there's compassion-based meditation, and that's going to be what we're cultivating here.
That makes so much sense. Now, you wrote a book, here it is, Meditation for the Real World. Tell us what prompted it and your second book.
Yes, actually, it is my second book. My first book was Science of Yoga,
Oh,
and this is a book that is filled with illustrations of different poses and how yoga affects each system of the body. And I love watching people engage with it, putting it on their mat and opening it up and practicing. However, what prompted my second book from this is I feel like sometimes there's the focus on just the physical. We think, oh, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible enough. Or, it's just about the physical poses. And if I don't look like that, then I'm not doing it right. And really, the majority of the yoga practice, like 9/10 of yoga, is the meditation and the breathing.
oh,
And so I
interesting.
wanted to write a book that focuses on that because if you can breathe, you can do yoga. If you
Wait a
have a
second. Let
mind,
me highlight that. If you can
yeah.
breathe, you can do yoga.
Uh-huh. And if
That's
you have a
great.
mind, you can meditate. Like you can find these practices wherever you are, whenever. So it doesn't have to be this formal practice where it's 20 minutes, you're sitting down with incense on the floor. It's not like that. The cover of the book, Meditation for the Real World, has somebody sitting on a public transit. And they're the only ones that look chill. Everybody around them is hunched over their phone or computer, scrolling. And rather than scrolling while they wait, they're meditating while they wait. And their eyes are open. You don't have to have even your eyes closed. So you can find these moments through your day when you're waiting at the doctor's office, when you're early picking your kids up from school and you're in the car, instead of scrolling, you could take a 1 minute meditation to cultivate that calm that, as we mentioned, is contagious.
That's great. Let's do one now. So if you
Yeah,
were to do a
absolutely.
1 minute meditation with us, or maybe it's shorter, whatever you think, for this
Yeah.
episode, let's give moms and dads an idea of how they can do it for themselves, but also then let's do another so that they have an idea of how they would do it with their child, say a young child.
Yeah, so there's overlaps to that. You can definitely do shorter versions with your child. So the first one I'll do is a five senses meditation. and you can memorize it. Most of the meditations in the book you can read and kind of memorize them and integrate them into your day. So this one, all you do is you go through your five senses. So wherever you are, you can do this. And if you're driving or something like that, of course, keep your eyes open, but you can still do this. So first, we're going to notice what we see. And if you are looking at a screen or you're looking at something close, look far away, right? Look in the distance, maybe down the hall or out the window. Allow your eye muscles to release and relax if that's safe to do so. And notice what you see. And then feel free to close your eyes if it's safe to do so and notice still what you see with the closed eyelids, different textures, colors, and shifting your attention to what you hear. Of course, my voice, but perhaps sounds in the distance that are all part of your meditation. We're not resisting sounds. It doesn't have to be perfectly silent. That's all part of it. Sounds up close. Maybe you can even hear your own breath in the foreground. Deeper inhale through the nose. Notice any smells. Exhale slowly. Notice any tastes. And then bring your attention to what you physically feel in your body. You might even feel compelled to sit a little taller, adjust your posture, or do any little movements that your body's asking for as you listen to your body, which is always speaking to you. And then if your eyes are closed, flutter your eyelashes open, and we're going to take in all of our senses simultaneously. So notice what you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel all at once. And bring this sense of presence with you as you listen to the rest of our conversation and as we go through some more techniques.
That's great. I feel so relaxed now.
I hope your listeners do too.
Yeah. Well, that is fabulous. So if that practice of just thinking about our senses, and all of us know our five senses, so we can just walk ourselves through the five senses, if that can cause us such relaxation, now how is it that we can impart that to the child that is
Yeah.
sugared up or way energetic in the wrong space and place?
Yeah. So actually, I think a great technique that's in the book is what we do when people are having like a panic attack or anxiety attack. So this works for adults in that situation or children when they're having a tantrum. So it's similar to this five senses, but we're going to just take parts of it. So you ask the person to name three things that they see. So what do you see right now? As you're listening to this, just look around and notice what you see. I see a car.
Okay.
Just name the three things.
Do you want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay.
And at home, listen, do that too in your head.
Okay. So I see my lights and my cup of water and my pen.
Yeah. And the child could say that too, or point to the things that they see, depending on their abilities at that moment. And then you say, what do you hear right now? Do you hear my voice? Yeah, I think, yes, I hear your voice. What else do you hear? Cars, the other child, they may name the other things that they hear. And an adult in a panic situation might hear, oh, I actually hear birds. When you really pay attention, you start to hear and become grounded in that moment.
Or the fan in my computer.
The fan in your computer. And you probably didn't notice that before. Those sounds are always there.
Right.
So then the third step is taking that physical feeling part to the next level. We know that movement is medicine and that when we can move a little bit, it can help us process things. So you're going to move three body parts. So that might be move your hands, move your shoulders. You might instruct them to move them, or you might say, what three body parts would you like to move? They could stand up and walk. That counts as moving. So do three different movements. Maybe you have a fun movement you like to do with them. Do that movement. So you do three different movements. So once you've gone through, it's three, three, and three, right? Three things you see, three things you hear, and three body parts moved, then you're more grounded in the moment. You're present, you're here, rather than off in your head wanting that thing or upset. You're now present.
I can see how that would work with a child if you can get their attention from the tantrum
Ex
to be able to engage with you. I can see how that would help them melt away the insistence of what they are wanting.
Yeah,
I
it's a
think
little
that's
bit of
worth
a
it.
distraction.
Exactly. It's definitely worth a try, and I can imagine it working quite well. Thank you. I bet a lot of parents are saying, I'm going to try that.
I hope so.
What about the kiddo that is having a hard time falling asleep? Now, you mentioned the co-regulation, and we want a child now to fall asleep, but they're not. What kind of meditation might you do in that setting?
I do this also for adults too, so it's just changing it slightly for children. I call it the down meditation. This is one I created because I have lots of people that wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall asleep or have trouble falling asleep. So it can be in either situation. So you can remember and use whichever of these cues work for you. So you don't have to memorize the whole thing. It's in the book, but you can remember, maybe one part of it works for your child and you stick with that one. So the first one that I like to do is to settle down. So find a position that's comfortable. If the child's in bed, get the pillows all comfy, get their stuffy clothes, do anything you need to settle down, lay down, settle down. So that's the first step. And then we're going to bring the breath down, like we talked about earlier. A lot of times when we're stressed, that breath is up in the chest and we're anxious, we're screaming, crying, the breath is up in the collarbones. We want to bring the breath down to allow the diaphragm to be engaged and the abdomen to move with the breath. So you can even instruct the kiddo to put their hand on their belly, bring your breath down. Allow your belly to move with your breath. It gets bigger with the inhales and releases with the exhales, like a balloon, filling up with the inhales and emptying out with the exhales. So bring the breath down. Now, the next one that works really well with kids is scanning down the body. You can do this through visualizing down the body and through squeezing down the body. So I'll take you through both really quickly. So if you're just visualizing down the body, you can say, can you feel your head? Now feel your shoulders. You may place your hand on their shoulders. Feel your arm, place your hand on their arm. Feel your hands. If you're doing this for yourself, you just bring your attention to each part. Feel your belly moving, feel your legs, feel your toes. And then the squeezing down, it's really effective because it's basically a natural muscle relaxant. So we're going to start by puckering your lips and squeeze your face, squeeze, make a sour face, and release. And try it with me as you're listening. That'll bring it into your head and memory. So you're going to take your
Mhm.
shoulders, squeeze them up towards your ears, squeeze, 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 and release. Make fists, squeeze your arms, squeeze, arms, squeeze, and release. Squeeze your legs, squeeze, 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 squeeze your tush, squeeze your legs and release. Squeeze your toes, squeeze, 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 and release. Now we're going to squeeze everything, your face, your shoulders, everything, and release. And feel your whole body relaxing down. So we scanned down, we squeezed down. The last step that really works is counting down. So we think of like counting sheep. Instead, we're going to count your breaths and we're going to count down from whatever number they can count to, maybe 10, maybe 20, maybe you counting out loud to them and just guiding them through a breath. So we're going to inhale and exhale. That's 10. Inhale and exhale. 9. Getting sleepy. Inhale and exhale. 8, 7. As we count down, we get sleepy and sleepy. So you continue all the way to 1 and let them count down their breath and feel the breath. And then you go back to whichever of those cues work. Now feel your belly moving, bringing the breath down, settle down. So I just remember the word down and go through those. It doesn't have to be in that order. Whatever you remember works, whatever works for your kid.
That, when you hear it, it seems so easy,
Mm-hmm.
but doing it is a little different thing. Well, it is easy still, but it's about remembering
Yeah.
and then slowing yourself down to actually do it. And when we're in a hurry for our kids to go to sleep, it's a hard time to settle ourselves into that state. But I can very easily see that this would be effective, and I thank you for this.
Yeah, and as you mentioned earlier, you feel more relaxed just doing it for a couple seconds or a minute here. Hopefully, as you guide them, you're going to also be feeling more relaxed. That's one of the reasons I love guiding meditation is because it relaxes me too. So
Now,
it's for both of you.
right. Absolutely. And I'm imagining that in order for your kids to be willing to do this kind of meditation, they probably need to see parents modeling, like
Yeah.
parents doing meditation when they're awake, when they're not part of it. So they just watch mom or dad meditate for a little while here and there as part of a regular living. Do you advocate that?
Yeah, and I think that it can be as simple as mommy needs a moment to take a couple deep breaths so I can feel calm and help you the best I can. And
I
then you
love the
just
language.
do
Yes.
that.
Tell them what's going on. Yes.
Yes, tell them what's going on because you need that moment and you're telling them why that you're doing it. And so then they can see now you're calm and you can help them better. So that's modeling it. And it can be just as simple as mommy needs to take 3 deep breaths.
Yeah. And if they see mom doing it or dad doing it, it validates the process too, as this is something that all people do. Oh, this is just good to do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really nice. That gives a freedom of just go forward and enjoy, doesn't it? It's a calmness to it. Yeah, very
A
nice.
freedom to do it yourself. Yeah, to use
Yeah.
these techniques yourself.
Yeah. That's great. And I can easily see a kiddo that is 3 years old saying, I'm meditating.
Yes.
Because if they're
With
copying
pride.
mom and dad, yeah, they'll say it with pride. That's so great. Now, you have a free gift for listeners. Would you tell us about it?
Yeah, so a lot of people feel like I don't know where to start with meditation and I don't know which technique works for me because maybe I tried, meditating before, but it didn't work for me. Well, there's so many different techniques. So you got to try another technique. It doesn't mean you're bad at it. It just means you weren't doing the right technique for you. So I have a 5-day meditation challenge for y'all that's less than 10 minutes a day and it explains the science behind each technique. So you go to meditationfortherealworld.com and you can check out the book. And so that's a free gift with the book is that 5-day meditation challenge.
Nice. Nice, nice. Now, I have the book. I did not find that challenge. Where do I find it? So,
Meditationfortherealworld.com. So
oh,
you
so
can
it's just
definitely
free.
sign up
Okay,
for it. Yeah,
fantastic.
go to the website.
Yes, and I did read the book and I thought, oh, this is so obvious and yet not obvious, simple and yet not simple. It's like easy but not simple. Does that make sense? Which way does that go?
I'd say simple, but not easy, right?
Okay,
Because you
yeah,
have to
maybe that's
remember to do it.
yeah,
And remember, it's a
exactly.
practice. It's
Hmm.
like reading. It's not something you're born with, it's something you learn. And the more you practice it, the better you get at it. And the more it opens up your whole world, the more present you become. It changes things. So
Right.
if you feel like you're bad at it, you just need it more. You need to practice it more, right? It's boot camp for your focus. You get better with time. The thing I like about the book is it's kind of written like a children's book. If you know the publisher DK,
Yes.
like the I Spy series, the Lego books, a lot of children's books, they do like illustrations that are gorgeous. And the book is like a children's book for kids. I mean,
Yeah.
for adults,
Lots of
for adults.
color in it and very easy writing. You did a nice job to make it just simple and good pictures.
It's relaxing to read for yourself.
Hmm. Well, this is fantastic. Thank you for this gift for everybody. In the book and the free gift that you have. So, listeners, if you want to connect more with Anne, I've got contacts in the show notes for you, and her full bio is there. And then, if you were to leave just one idea, Anne, for our listeners, what would be your closing thoughts?
I think rather than scrolling while you wait, meditate while you wait. It can be as simple as integrating it into those moments where you're kind of, impatiently waiting for something. Instead, turn that into an opportunity to take a 1-minute meditation, a one breath meditation to integrate these practices.
You're very good. I do absolutely believe in meditation too. It was about a year ago that I started reading your book, but in the past year, I have very much dug into it and I've noticed quite a change in my life. It's been great.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
I'm so glad that it sparked that for you.
it did. It did. And yeah, it's very good. Thank you for your time today. And thank you for the gift you've given to all the listeners.
Thank you.
Remember to check the show notes for the links mentioned in this episode. Hey parents, I hope you found this episode helpful. If so, would you please take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who also lives or works with children? I would really appreciate it if you would leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. I read every review and it lights me up to know that this show is making a difference. Then come join my Facebook community, where you'll meet other parents who are dedicated to helping their children grow too. You'll find the link in the show notes. Thank you for joining me. Now it's time to go. Let's pop our kiddos in the strollers and go look around outdoors and see what we have to talk about.